All right, let's talk about the Hillsborough house. This is the story of how one single-family home managed to turn an entire upscale California town into a complete and utter battlefield.
Seriously, in a town that's famous for, its perfectly manicured lawns and billionaire residents, one house sparked this multi-year, headline-grabbing legal war. And it is a wild story, folks. We're talking dinosaurs, property rights, and just a whole lot of drama.
And this is really the question at the heart of it all. As we go through this, you're going to have to decide for yourself. Is this house a work of iconic, kind of eccentric art? Or is it just an out-of-control eyesore that went way, way too far?
So, to really get the battle, you first have to understand the house itself. Because, let me tell you, long before any dinosaurs showed up, this was already no ordinary piece of real estate.
Okay, so here's the timeline real quick. The house was built way back in 1976. But the real chaos? That all kicks off in 2017 when a new owner takes over. That, of course, leads to a lawsuit from the town in 2019, and then a really surprising settlement in 2021 that we are definitely going to get to. So this house was always unique. I mean, it was built in '76 as this experimental design with these incredible concrete domes. For decades, it was this famous or maybe infamous landmark in the Bay Area. You could see it right from the highway, and people had already nicknamed it the Flintstone House just because of its kinda cartoonish, rock-like shape.
The house was already quirky, for sure, but it was about to get a whole lot quirkier. Everything, and I mean everything, changed when a new owner came into the picture with a very, very specific vision.
So in 2017, the property sells for a cool $2.8 million. And look, in one of the wealthiest towns in America, this wasn't just any sale. Nope. This was the beginning of a transformation that would turn a local curiosity into a national headline. And the new owner? Her name was Florence Fang. And she looked at that Flintstone House nickname and didn't see it as just a quirky title. For her, it was basically a set of instructions. She decided to lean all the way in and bring the Bedrock theme to life right there in her yard. And when I say she went all out, I mean she went all out. We're talking massive oxidized steel dinosaurs, a woolly mammoth, a giraffe, for some reason, sure. And just to make the theme crystal clear, she threw in life-sized figures of Fred Flintstone and a giant sign screaming, "Yabba Dabba Doo."
Well, as you can probably imagine, the neighbors were, let's just say, not thrilled. This whimsical yard art pretty quickly went from a neighborhood curiosity to a full-blown legal war.
And that's when the town officially stepped in. In 2019, the city of Hillsborough filed a lawsuit, and they formally declared Florence Fang's prehistoric paradise a public nuisance. The battle lines were officially drawn. So the two sides were pretty clear. On one side, you had the town arguing the dinosaurs and all the other stuff were an unpermitted, unsightly public nuisance. On the other side, Fang and her legal team fired right back, claiming it was all a matter of artistic expression and private property rights. They even alleged that the town was discriminating against her. So, after years of legal fights and a ton of media attention, the case finally came to a close in 2021. But the outcome? Well, it was something that almost nobody saw coming.
That's right, $125,000. But here's the twist. This wasn't a fine paid by the homeowner. No, this was money paid to Florence Fang by the town of Hillsborough.
I mean, Fang didn't just win, she won big. The final settlement laid out three key things. First, all the dinosaurs, all the signs, all the yard art, it could all stay. Second, the town had to pay her $125,000 to cover her legal fees. And third, all of those unpermitted structures were now officially approved. It was a complete and total victory for her.
So where does that leave our prehistoric property today? Well, the battle is over, and the house has really cemented its status in a way that, frankly, no one could have predicted.
Yep, the settlement is held. The dinosaurs still loom over the highway, the paint is still bright, and that Yabba Dabba Doo sign still greets commuters. Florence Fang's vision is completely and legally intact. And this brings us to the ultimate irony of this whole thing. This was a classic homeowners association style meltdown, right? All about taste and property values, except the town of Hillsborough doesn't even have an HOA. It's just a perfect example of peak Bay Area eccentricity.
Which brings us right back to our original question. Now that you've heard the whole crazy story, where do you land on this? Is the Flintstone House a triumphant monument to artistic freedom and just being yourself? Or is it the ultimate neighborhood nightmare come to life? The dinosaurs are staying, but the debate is far from extinct.